Welcome back to the Cheapo Spotlight. Today, something brand new from HOLDPEAK. It's the HP-41B, and boy, does this thing look sharp. In the box, you get, well, a set of test leads, and really not a manual. It's more like a couple of pieces of paper, and goes through the basic functions and specs of the meter itself. As well, you get your standard set of test leads, pretty generic in nature. I'm not seeing any HP logo or any sort of signifier on here, making it as a HOLDPEAK test lead per se, but you know what? They're okay. As you can see, size-wise, it's a pretty small, diminutive meter compared to the Capacitance here. Yeah, this thing dwarfs the little HOLDPEAK standard XL830 style clone over here. Still, this is a small meter, but wow, look at it in contrast. Definitely a lot larger than the HOLDPEAK. And once again, we have our venerable DT830 series, and you can see even that is really pretty well the same size than the HOLDPEAK. So the tilting stand or standing bail, as you can see, a nice and firm. And look at that, it's got a 2-snap style system. So when you pull it out once, locks, twice it locks. Gives you a couple of different angles depending on your preference. And as well, when you open up the back, and you've got 1, 2, 3 Phillips. Unfortunately, those go into plastic. That's too bad. That gives you access right away to your 2 AAA batteries, which power the unit, as well as you have instant access to those 2 fuses for the milliamp and high current side of things. Just too bad it's plastic into plastic. There is no rubberized boot on this multimeter. It is molded directly into the body itself. So even though it looks like it's got a rubber casement, it's really just hard plastic. That's too bad. Taking a closer look at the rotary selector switch, starting at the 9 o'clock or off position. Volts, AC/DC. Diode, continuity, resistance, and capacitance. Frequency and duty cycle. Onboard temperature sensor for both Celsius and Fahrenheit. Midnight, non-contact voltage. A proprietary LED testing mode. Microamps AC/DC. Milliamps AC/DC. High current amps AC/DC. Finally, a secondary off at the 3 o'clock position. At the top of the unit, we have our soft touch buttons, starting off with the select. Underneath that, we have our hold, as well as our auto backlight. In the middle, we have our frequency and duty cycle. On the far right, we have our max, min. Finally, below that, we have our range select. Finally, at the bottom of the unit, we have our high current input on the left. It is a yellow color instead of the standard red. In the middle, we have our common or neutral input. Finally, we have our red or positive for the volts, diode, resistance, capacitance, microamps, milliamps, temperature, diode, zener. Whew, the list goes on. I don't know who put this protective sticker on, but it must have been on a Friday night. All right, let's get rid of it. Here we go. Oh yeah. And now we shall turn it on. Bada boom, bada bing, bada bang. We are greeted with a sort of italicized display. Yeah, you know, mediocre. I will have to say my first impression. It's okay. It's definitely nothing stellar. Let's see if we can bring it down a bit. The contrast definitely does improve. At that 90-degree angle on the tilt stand, it's a little bit harder to see. But when it is down, as you can see, and you're not staring into a bunch of lighting, it's not too shabby. Let's enable the backlight. And there we are. Not bad at all. A little bit of bleeding over on the right-hand side, but really at the end of the day, fairly easy on the eyes. Now let's see if this is going to go off within a few seconds, as seems to be the norm with most multimeters these days. Okay. Well, okay. So it passed the acid test for the backlight. At least it's not going off right away. I'll keep an eye on this. There we go. Okay, so that was about, what, 20 seconds, 25 seconds? All right, well, you know what? Better than 5. Okay, before somebody makes a comment, yes, I will say it right now. They misspelled true RMS. It says tour RMS. I know. So all in all, a lot of features in this little multimeter. Now let's talk about the price. This is about 20 bucks, even less if you can find it. I mean, once again, the price is all over the board, but I've seen it as low as 18 and as high as 26. So somewhere in the medium range of around 20 to 22 bucks is what this is gonna get you. So definitely in the cheapo realm. And you know what? It's a lot of functionality, a lot of ranges, a lot of serviceability here for a low price of admission. But is it any good? Well, that's what we're gonna find out. Starting off the DC accuracy test, and boy, do I like it when these little guys are accurate. Not too shabby at all. 250 millivolts is what we want to see. Hey, pretty well spot on. Now we're gonna switch it over to the voltage. Should be looking at 2.50 volts, and yes, once again, 2.504 volts. This is a 6,000 count true RMS multimeter, and that extra resolution is always nice, especially in a smaller size meter. Love it, love it, love it. Now this is one of those meters that has that annoying beep, so when you're changing ranges, it is quite loud and in your face, but you know, it's also a safety thing, so it's not really that big of a deal, I guess. All right, starting in diode mode, here we go. Now, actually, I'm gonna turn down the light, see if this helps a little bit. And let's try that green LED. And it is lit, and we have that forward voltage drop over to the yellow LED, and looking good. Over to the red. Yeah, so far 3 for 3. Ooh, here we go. The blue, the blue, the blue. Yes, and we have a forward voltage drop. Finally, the white LED. Oh, beauty. 5 for 5. Awesome. Finally, a standard diode, rather. Here we go. And there is a forward voltage drop. Perfect. The HOLDPEAK HP-41B is putting out a respectable 3.8 volts in diode mode. Good stuff. I'm going to try the leads, see if we have any resistance on them. Wow, good stuff. No need to rail out in this case. Excellent. Lab grade resistor. Wow, 99.9 ohm, 100 ohms, spot on. Oh, just fluctuating back and forth, giving us a tease. Excellent. Good stuff. HOLDPEAK. Once again, this is a meter of 6s. In this case, it's 60 mega ohm as the maximum for resistance. All right, let's just see how quick it is in terms. Sitting right now at 9 mega ohm, looking good. Bring it down to 1 mega ohm. Hey, that wasn't bad, not bad at all. 2 mega ohm, 3, 5 mega ohm. Yeah, not too shabby. 5.5 mega ohm. Let's try 5.5, 1 mega ohm. Looking good. We're in capacitance mode right now. I've got a 100 nanofarad capacitor here, a small ceramic. And yeah, I've got it up against the X-Tech, and it came up around 90 nanofarad, and look at that, not far off at all, 93.4 coming up on the HOLDPEAK. And I'm actually using some Sanwa LCR test leads to take this reading, so yeah, nice and accurate in capacitance mode. Right now we're sitting at 2 microfarad, coming up as 1.84, not bad at all. 3 microfarad, 4 microfarad, 5 microfarad, 6. We'll finish it off at 7. Yeah, so not too bad at all. Next up, the big boys, 47 millifarad cap. Here we go. Already it's thinking, bada boom, bada bing, bada bang, bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. 43.44. Hey, awesome. And you know what? That was fast. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna try for 100 millifarad. Here we go. It's thinking. It's thinking. Come on. You can do it. Yeah. Oh, I was so convinced I was going to do it. But unfortunately, yeah, we were maxed out at around 60 millifarad. That is the cap for the capacitance range. Sorry, I tried. Already Aphrodite continuity mode, it is stock probes, 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. Music to my ears. Loud latched. Oh, did I mention loud? Good stuff. Pro Masters. Oh, beautiful. And you know what you're not seeing? Shame on me. Let's just tilt the meter around. Check it out. Yeah, we have a really nice visual here at the bottom of the meter. Beauty. Boy, when I said loud, I wasn't kidding. 85.2 dBAs. That is a loud maximum output volume in continuity. Whew. Another great feature is temperature mode in both Celsius and Fahrenheit. And what's even better, it has an onboard temperature sensor, so you don't need to use your thermocouple, which, by the way, it does ship with as well. Yeah, so that's great. And comparing it to another temperature gauge here, 21.7 showing up, as opposed to 23. Not bad at all. And for my American friends, let's just put that into Fahrenheit, shall we? 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, time to water the palm tree. Of course, you can use that temperature sensor to take measurements of heat, liquid, fire, what have you. I'm just going to dip it in my nice, cool bottled water here. Let's see what we have for temperature reading. Yeah, it's in there. Very good. Hope it doesn't change the flavor too much. So around 69 degrees. Around 20 degrees Celsius. Let's see if I can stick it with the probe here. And that's showing me about 21, so yeah, close enough. But after all that hard work, I need a drink. Ah, that was good. No worries in AC voltage mode, 121 volts AC, looking good. Non-contact voltage mode, as you can see, it has a nice steady green in the LED notifier, just letting you know it's all good. And when you get to a power source, so lots of indicators here, visual, audible. Yeah, nice. Nice and loud. This is a loud little meter. If you recall that UT89XD review from way back when, this is one of the first multimeters I reviewed that had a really neat proprietary LED testing mode. And yeah, suffice to say, we're seeing it more and more. Now we're seeing it in this little HOLDPEAK, and it's pretty cool. So it's outputting 15 volts in diode mode, and no worries, it's not going to blow any LEDs. This is going to be done strictly in a regulated sort of way. But if you do a lot of LED testing, yeah, might be something you're interested in. Also with the AC line feed, we're sitting here at 50% duty cycle. And you can see it's at 120 volts and 60 hertz. So yeah, nice to have that hertz and duty cycle once again. Quick voltage showdown. We're going to go up to 32 volts DC. Here we go, sitting at 1 volt right now. And wow, it is close. You all remember how accurate this Unity is. Yeah, that is one precise little multimeter. Okay, here we go. Taking it up. Let's try 7 volts even. 6.99. 7 even, Steven. Oh, that was so close. 7.01 right now for the little HP-41B, which is being dwarfed by these two guys here. Alrighty, so wow, look at this. I'm surprised. This is very, very close. Okay, well, up and away. Let's go to 10 volts even. 10 volts even, Steven. 10.01, 10.00, and 9.97. Holy moly cannoli. Wow, that is one quick little meter. Okay, here we go. Up and away. Let's go to, well, this is fun. We're going to stop at 14 volts on the nose. 14.00, spot on for the Unity. 14.02 for the HOLDPEAK, and 13.96 for the 780C. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, here we go again. I'm gonna max it out right now, 32 volts. Give it a minute to settle here. And survey says 32 volts, spot on for the UT 191T, 32.05 for the 41B, and of course it is an non-auto ranging. We've got to bring it up a notch. I lose a lot of resolution with that HOLDPEAK 760, but yeah, and it's short about a volt as well. So great job, HOLDPEAK, and of course Unity. Well, we knew that was a given, but excellent stuff. So highly accurate in the DC voltage mode. I am loving it. Young, dumb, and full of DC accuracy. No problems with the high current, 6.1 amps, spot on HOLDPEAK. Finally in low milliamps mode, let's go, let's take it down, shall we? 18.70 volts, 18.75. Boy, this is a really nice, accurate little meter. I'm telling you, 16 milliamps, 16.04. Oh, so close. Down, let's take it to 10 milliamps even. Put on that backlight. Okay, 11 milliamps it is. 11.02 already. And we're gonna go down. 5 milliamps. 4.97. Let's take it down to 1 milliamp. Yeah, no worries here. Spot on HOLDPEAK. Good stuff. All in all, thus far, highly impressive for this HP-41B. Let's take a look at the inside and see if it's just as good. Here we are on the inside, and first looks, hey, not too bad at all. Those, well, let's start off with the reverse side. Obviously, yeah, you know what? You know it's gonna happen, right? No shielding, but we are used to that in the cheapo realm. Here we have our LEDs for our continuity indicators and NCV voltage indicator, nicely tucked away over there. This is the carry through for the voltage into those two AAA batteries, and that goes directly into the PCB over here. Let's take a closer look at that input protection. Fuse-wise, they are glass fuses, 5x20 standard. But what is not too standard is on the milliamp side, it is an 800 milliamp rated fuse. So true to the rating of 800 milliamps on the front of the case, this is actually an 800 milliamp fuse. Excellent. And on the high current side, we have a 10 amp 250 volt fuse. Input jacks are the split variety, but they are housed in a really nice plastic encasement, and the soldering job is excellent. So no worries here. Standard current shunt over here for the high current range, and on the voltage side we have one PTC, a couple of MELFs right there, and there's a bridge rectifier. That's the big bad boy giving us all that awesome continuity. And check this out here, moving up the line. Do you notice anything? Well, besides the IC being cobbed and the silver can, aka oscillator. Look at the NCV. Look at that. You don't see that every day, folks. We have a wire embedded from one side of the PCB soldered into the other, and that wire is our non-contact voltage detection. Cool. So normally what we see is an embedded wire in the PCB itself, or we'll see an extruding protrusion, as I like to call them, for the NCV, an actual metal filament coming out of the multimeter. But in this case, they've utilized a basic wire. And you know what? At the end of the day, it works, and it seems to work quite well. Good stuff. Check out that fab date, 2019, 10/21, October 2019. Not too shabby. Overall, nice, clean PCB, and I like what I see. Closing thoughts on the HOLDPEAK HP-41B. Wow, you know I like it. Yes, in fact, I love it. This is a very nouveau, neat-looking little device. And I gotta say, from a metrology perspective, whoa, try saying that word 3 times fast. It really performs. You know what? I was not expecting a whole heck of a lot. You know, this just seemed a little bit sort of out of left field when I first looked at it. But wow, I'm glad I did. Stellar performance. Boy, this thing really rocked and rolled. And look at those ranges. I mean, pretty well does everything you can ask for in a cheapo meter. Don't even get me started on the accuracy. Wow, this thing really kicked the llama's butt. I mean, this was an accurate multimeter, period. All in all, a great instrument. And at this price, around 20-25 bucks, you can't go wrong. The HOLDPEAK HP-41B gets a solid 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, too bad we didn't have a little bit more in the input protection department, but all in all, this is a great instrument. Hey, stay tuned. Sanwa Week is coming up September 1st. You know, that's going to be fun. Till the next one, keep on testing.